probably about 30 hours a month in his practice when he first started working with me on this. And so he took everything he could. And yesterday he just told me that he had $100,000 month this April, biggest month he's had, and doing awesome. And he was like, "Can I get rid of some of the dead weight?" And I'm like, "Cut all of that lower 20% that's not doing anything because you're wanting to grow your business. So keep the 80%." So it goes back and forth, but really a lot of times 20% of your income or 20% of what you're really getting uh, is really helpful, and 80% you can jettison. And so it goes back and forth with the 20% rule. Sometimes it's the 20% that's really good for you, and you want to really focus on your numbers because of that. And so you want to focus on what is working for you and what is not. The only way you can really do that is monitoring everything. And you're really good at that. You really pay attention to your numbers, you pay attention to your time, you pay attention to everything. That's one of the things that we teach people is really pay attention to all of that monitoring.
Terry, I'm going to bring you on every single week because you just make me feel better about myself. Mike Shine, good morning, my friend. How are you?
Great. How are you, Walter?
Excellent. Excellent. Mike Shine, this is Terry Wager. He is a coach out of
Yeah, I saw the
Portland, Oregon. Oregon.
Hi, Terry. I saw
Hey, Mike, how are you?
I saw the interview. It's just another value add, Walter. Killing it.
That's it, man. So what we have in the room now is Terry Wager, a coach from Oregon. He's Generator Coaching, which, by the way, Terry, you might want to change your name.
I am right now.
I changed mine. I'm about to change mine right now.
How do you change it?
You go to rename.
Where is that? Where is that on the screen?
Right-hand
So
corner.
right at the top right, the little three dots. Right on top of your little face there, little three dots.
And then it's like the third or fourth one down. It says,
I know Mitchell's changing his right now. There it is. Hey, you know, yeah, you got to pull the Jason out because we're missing Scaredy Cat.
I was hoping to get the Scaredy Cat. The problem is I put Jason so people can find me on Facebook. I got to pick which one is more important.
Yep. No, finding you is way better. Nice. So yeah, basically what we're doing in this early session is a little conversation. This is for the actual mentor students. Stephanie, where's your camera? Put that thing on. This is for the mentor students to ask questions to the coaches, the guys who are in the program. They've already paid. They're already here doing the steps. And you guys add extra value. What I was talking about this week with Mitch Durfee is offering him the chance to do one-on-ones with all the mentors, all the mentees, all the people in the program on Monday. And what I'd like to do is with each and every one of you, give everybody the opportunity each week to go and schedule a one-on-one with you. This way they can see what you're about, what your coaching program's about. And then if they like it, after the mentorship is over, they can jump forward and move forward with you guys. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Excellent. Mike doesn't know he's a coach yet, so that's a work in progress. It's coming, Mike.
Oh my God, I love that. Thank you so much. I'm going to say the same thing you said to Terry. The reason I'll be here every week is because you always make me feel so good about myself. So I'm here all the time.
I love it.
Yeah.
There's Ryan. We'll bring Ryan in.
Hey, Mitch.
How's it going, Michael?
Good. How you doing? We're using your Scaredy Cat guide this morning for the calculator.
I like it.
Yeah. Can you see when we use it? Can you see who's?
I mean, I can obviously check, hits on the web page,
Gotcha.
but I don't see who actually uses it individually.
Gotcha.
Nice. So Ryan McDermott is one of our students. He is a financial advisor among many things, and he's looking to make another million. So he's looking to get to the next level.
Nice.
And he runs a company. He's looking to invest in Dedham, and he's got a DI personality. So if you understand DISC, this is a very decisive, influential person. Terry Wager actually studies DISC. So he's actually, we have the same coach. We share the same coach.
Nice.
We do.
Very cool.
Terry, who do you know for DIs?
Well, not you.
I love that.
I mess with him a lot because he loves the numbers and all that, which is a C trait. And I think he grew up as a C, but he's a little bit of D, a little bit of I, a lot of
A
D.
little bit.
Lot of
A lot of D. He really forces his eye out a lot.
Yeah,
and,
really working hard
I know
on
that
this.
he has to go home and recover from it, but
Yep.
yeah. Other D's that we know, that we know together, Keith. I tease him that he's really an S, but
Keith started out as an S for sure, and Paul will say the same.
mm-hmm. And Paul started out as an S, but he's more D style. I think when you start running your own business, you realize your money depends on you. You become a D very quickly.
Yep.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. It's, you could think strategically all you want, but what's that line that is it Mike Tyson? Everybody's got a plan till they get punched in the mouth or something like that. I've been there like a lot of different times, and
Yeah.
I'm sure no doubt as I kind of go down this path as well. So
Absolutely.
And then especially that D part where you have to make decisions quickly. When you own a business, you can't, people are always asking me questions. I'm like, yeah, I got to make a decision.
Yeah.
Right.
That makes a lot of sense, Michael. I took the disc test last week I was curious, and it came up as SI, and I'm reading through it, and I'm like, I don't know if I agree with this, but now you're mentioning that decisive thing. That actually is one of my, unfortunately, weak points. So that makes sense now. I need to work towards transitioning my letter.
Well,
Have employees.
skills. That's a good idea. I can help with that.
So somebody who's trying to transition his letter.
Right? I
It's
transition.
you, Terry. Well,
That sounds like a new coaching program.
I will transition you from a letter to another letter. But it's interesting because I just heard somebody say something about you put a scaredy cat program on for other people to use.
Yeah.
How S of you.
Yeah.
How S of you.
And that's awesome. That's awesome because actually one of the things that we got to look at when we're looking at DISC is not that we're this identifier, but it's how do we use the S in us to move our businesses forward? How do we use that C in us? And one of the things that I really like about Walter is in his early days when he was doing other work, he really understood spreadsheets and understood how to use numbers. And then he moved into getting himself out there, getting himself known, getting himself in front of the camera and comfortable with it, because anybody can do it. It's just some people don't, and some people don't get comfortable with it. So then they get stuck in that C-ness or something like that, or they get stuck in the S-ness and they don't get their eye out there and they don't get themselves known. And like Grant Cardone talks about, exposure is the thing that's going to make you money. And so when we really step into that eye, we're going to get known, we're going to get wide, and then we can do more business. D is really going to help us to really focus on how to get the deal done. I think D is deal. And
80-20, man.
rule.
D is an
And
80-20.
so S is really
Oh,
good.
my.
Oh, look at these guys.
Well done.
I want to grab mine.
that was
but
planned. That was planned.
Yes, it was.
I'm calling it.
That's the book of the week.
All I got is this. I'm sorry. That's all I got. That's all I got.
You're broke to $250,000. Put your broke to $250,000 up.
Here we go.
I gotta bring the bookcase in the office.
books.
It's in the other room.
That's awesome.
I'll display them all. I need Darina's book. Darina, hurry up. You gotta write a book. How to
Ryan,
wholesale
where's your
champ.
book, brother? There it is. There it is.
Boom, look at that. There it is.
We're matching.
So, if I may, can I ask a quick question? Sort of off topic, but so every week I write a real estate investing post that goes out to, whoever's subscribed to my website. What's a good topic to write for this week? I usually write it every Saturday. So you guys got anything off the top of your head you want to hear about in terms of real estate investing?
What did you write last week? I love themes.
Last week I touched on current news. I talked about the adjustments to the CARES Act with the 401k plan, how you can use money, now more easily. You can withdraw money and how you could leverage that to use real estate. So that was more of just about, something current, but it could be, an investing principle, anything.
Yeah, I mean, cost seg is another big one, right? Cost segregation for multifamilies or investors who are holding.
Yeah, so much is something easy, huh?
I mean, you asked. So in line with topics of knowledge, the cost seg would be a really deep one. But I would say like honestly, right now for real estate investors, it's definitely got to be taking action on marketing.
Yeah.
Who's your audience?
I think my audience is still primarily newbies because that's what, most of my content caters to, because that's the whole thing with the calculator. I talk about how, kind of like Galter, have faith in those numbers, run those numbers. That's what gets you, to take the leap and stop being scared. So, I mean.
Yeah.
Okay, so how many of your newbies actually listen to the news and listen to the idea that things aren't happening because real estate's still happening, and a lot of people are getting caught up in the fact that COVID is slowing economy down, and it's not. It's really not. It's shifting it. It's moving the way we do things, but it's still going strong. And in fact, so far the stock market's actually been coming back. And I'm pretty sure
that's a whole nother topic that we're not going to get into. But yeah, the real estate market is still churning, and we're just doing business
That's what I'm
differently.
getting at. That's what I'm getting at. So that might be a good piece to talk about in your blog, is saying real estate market is still strong. People are still doing deals. The real players are still in.
It's true.
I can say from my perspective, we're sort of newbies. And there's this sort of rumor out there that this is the time to be picking up properties. So even though we're relatively new, we're looking. I haven't seen the deals yet. But,
I don't think that's a rumor, is it, Walter? It's
well,
a good time to pick up properties.
Yeah, nothing's changed. Like nothing's really changed other than there's a fear factor in the market. The need to sell is still out there. The desire to purchase is still out there. There's just a fear factor, like this little factor where people aren't listing. They're pulling their properties off market because they don't know where they want to be. Like it's not that they don't want to sell. They want to sell. It's just that right now they don't want people in their freaking houses. So they're keeping everybody out of their house, taking the houses off market. So it's not natural and it's not normal. They want to sell, but they're afraid of their lives. Like they're afraid of the people being in their house, so they're not putting things on the market yet. And I have this feeling we're going to see the market flooded once it's okay to bring people into your properties. And already there's sellers saying, okay, like how do we sell this without people in my house? Like I still want to sell it. I still want to do this. We just can't actually have you in here. And then the other side of it is, can I find another place to live if nobody's letting me in their properties? So there's this little artificial slowdown, but it's not a fundamental slowdown, right?
That's a great way to put it. It's the artificial slowdown. It's people think it's slowing down, so then they start seeing it slowing down.
Right.
One of the other things that I really think about is the idea of developing the relationships, and Sam Zell talks about this in his book.
Sam Zell.
You read Sam Zell's book?
Yeah.
Am I being too subtle?
Am I being too subtle?
Am I being too subtle?
That's awesome, dude. Great book.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a REIT guy. He built REITs.
Yeah,
Awesome.
phenomenal.
Who recommended that book to you, Walter?
What is it?
Who recommended that book to you?
Oh, all right. Okay.
Just cheat and listen to the podcast
Anyway,
we did with Tim
the
Ferriss.
book that Michael Sheen recommended to me.
Shine with Shine.
The book that Michael Shine recommended to me.
Oh, Mike recommends
Sam
so many
Zell,
books to me.
is really good, because one of the biggest things he says, and I mean it's been repeated over and over, that the relationship is where you start making the deal and making the big money, because once you develop that relationship, no matter what the market's going, you can go back to those people that you have the relationship with and say, what can we do next?
Yep.
And so it's always building those next deals off of that relationship, and maybe that person doesn't have anything, but they'll know somebody that does.
Right.
Nice.
Yep. I love that. So I'm doing a little research right now. I did this yesterday on the wholesale mastermind call. Who's on the mastermind call last night for the wholesalers, the cold callers? Nice
job, Darina.
Good morning, everyone. Good to see you, Ryan McGovern. We got two Ryans in the mentorship program. We got a Ryan McGovern and Ryan McDermott. And all I think every time I do it is I'm like, okay, Ryan in Pawtucket, Ryan in Dedham, Ryan who owns a financial company, Ryan who wants to get out of his company. So, dude, in our one-on-one interview, so Ryan McDermott was like, yeah, no, I don't want to post this. Like, I may get into stuff. I just want to be safe. Ryan McGovern's like, no, post it. But I'm going to lie to you about shit so that I don't get fired.
Yeah, exactly. I had to tell you that I enjoyed my job.
Yeah. So we had to have like this side conversation afterwards where it was like, hey, by the way, some of the stuff I told you kind of bullshit. So
Yeah.
Oh man.
So I learned the secrets to telling somebody that they're being recorded is tell them afterwards and then make the decision later on, but not in the middle.
Yeah.
I apologize. I'm late. I couldn't get in. I didn't know you guys could see me. I hope you didn't hear me on the phone too. Hope it wasn't bothering anybody.
You totally did. It was disrupting everything.
You were good.
Great.
Oh.
Yeah,
So,
I couldn't get in. It was
one
it
of
was
the
saying,
benefits. One of the benefits to being in this is you get these little extra early morning sessions. Just hanging out with the coaches is cool. We all like get pumped up just hearing from each other's stories. And the other benefit is you get to be up at the top, right? So as mentor program members, you guys are in the panelist group. So everybody else is going to be sitting out there in the attendees section. You won't see all their faces. You won't see all of them coming in, but they're going to see all of you guys here. So it's an added benefit. And at the end, we're going to talk a little bit about your business. You may see that I pepper it in throughout the conversation and just say, hey, this is what Ryan's looking for right now. If you know anybody, or this is what Stephanie is doing. This is what Doreen is doing. And I'll go through and I pull it into conversation. It's just a great way to get people to know you, because at the end of the day, like, was it Jason? No, it was Terry. Like Terry was saying, it's all about attention. The more people who know you, the more people you can sell to. If they know you, they can flow you. And we're talking cash flow, right? If they don't know you, they can't flow you. So that's, write that down. That's Greg Cardone. Yeah, I'm just stealing tip. I'm
Best
stealing
kept
words.
secret keeps you broke.
The best kept secret keeps you broke. Yep. One of the things that kills me, like what you just said, entrepreneurs will come to me, oh, well, I got this great idea. It's going to make me millions. Cool. Share it with me and I'll help you. I'll put you out there. Oh man, I can't tell you because, it's such a good deal, and you never know. Bro, I don't give a fuck about your idea. I'm doing mine. I'm doing my one thing for the rest of my fucking life. I'm gonna sell real estate. I'm gonna buy real estate and sell real estate. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm not taking your freaking idea. Well, it's in technology. Then I promise you I'm not doing it. I'm definitely not doing anything with an app or crypto. Like I'm locked into real estate.
Remember when we were in Dominican and Morrow's, I got this idea.
Morrow, yes. Perfect example. Yep.
Well, let me finish this. His idea was that battery thing, right?
Right.
When he shared it, I actually hooked him up with a web guy, my web guy.
Right.
And now they're doing the deal together, and my web guy is doing all of the back end work for him.
All sorts of support came out from us saying, hey, we can help you out with that. We can help you out with that. Without letting people know what you're doing, it's really hard to find support. It's really difficult.
You can't build a team if they don't know what you're doing.
Good morning, John. How are you, brother? So this is Emily. We got your forehead. Perfect. Excellent. So Emily, we got your camera working. Are you able to get your audio going?
It's on mute right now.
Still missing your chin.
Well,
Getting closer.
we're working on all of it. Stephanie, look at you. What is it? 7 o'clock in the morning over there?
That's
And your
hardcore.
audio's off too.
Yeah,
I'm gonna stop calling on people.
So I'm just waking up. I'm so half asleep.
Well,
You look wide awake. There you go.
up.
Right there. Perfect.
Hold on, let me,
Perfect.
Stephanie's a good example here because I saw some clip from Steve Harvey yesterday, and he talked about how poor people sleep, rich people don't. He's like, how many people that like to sleep that are rich? He's like, how many of them are poor? I was like, I'm like, I got to set my alarm a little earlier.
Yeah. I woke up at 6 today, extra early to be here on time.
That's pretty good. 6.
Killing it.
That's right. Good job, Steph.
Thanks.
So go on Facebook Live on the camera over here. And we'll get that up and running.
Oh, I have someone joining us, another person from the West Coast today, so I'm excited.
West Coast.
Excellent. Good job.
Oh yeah, I invited someone too. We'll see if they show.
Yeah, same here. Hopefully somebody logging on.
Very good. Thank everybody who is bringing people in. Thank you guys. You're pushing the mission of building millionaires forward. So I appreciate every one of you. Give yourselves a round of applause. That is valuable. Fighting people, changing people's lives, right? That's what makes the difference. It's not just one person going out there saying, hey guys, this is the way to be successful. It's other people showing success, showing that they're successful, and people coming up to you and saying, hey, how'd you do it? And then you start delivering that value and you start changing people's lives, and it becomes a cycle where your effect is now affecting somebody else, affecting somebody else, affecting somebody else. and it pushes out into the world. So what you're doing by bringing people in is your way of just spreading the fire out there just a little further, spreading the light just a little further. Darkness can't exist when there's light, even just a little bit. You guys have seen, you've been to a concert before. Everybody's been to a concert, and they have the lighters. Now it's all cell phones, right? So it's a little different from what it used to be. But back before the COVID, we used to all gather together in rooms and listen to music.
We'll tell these stories to our children years from now.
So bad. And then there'd be this one song. So it would be really high and loud, and then there'd be this one song where everything would slow down. And you just knew. They didn't even have to tell you anymore. It was just, you knew that song was coming on, and there'd be one lighter and another lighter and another lighter. And before you knew it, the whole place was lit up, and you could feel the heat from all the lighters. And that's the experience that what this event is creating, what this room is creating, is every one of you is going out there just doing it, being successful, and social proof around you forces others to be successful. You don't need the instructions, you see the instructions. There you go, Terry. Get the camera up, get your light going. I love it. But that's what this group is all about. Every one of you is a beacon of success. Every person who becomes a millionaire is now encouraging other people to be millionaires. So let me get my live on. So you should be doing lives. Every one of you at some point during the day should be doing a live video. Good morning, wealth principle number 14. Focus on the 80-20 principle. Fast, often, regularly, in sales, in marketing, in business, in your relationships, in the people you're hiring, in the tasks you're giving. 80-20 is everything. 80-20 was founded by Pareto, and it's called the Pareto's principle. And he was studying the economics of the time. And what he discovered is that 80% of the plants, the bean plants that he was creating in his garden, were providing 20% of the results. But the inverse was very interesting, because 20% of his plants were producing 80% of the results. And he thought, this is weird. And he started going through the numbers, and he started seeing it everywhere he went, in the amount of money the king was bringing in, and the amount of people who were poor, and the amount of people who were rich. And he started really diving. And then what he discovered was something very, very, very interesting, is that you could even 80-20 the 80-20. Has anybody ever heard of the 1%? Well, it's possible to 80-20 the 80-20 after you've 80-20 the 80-20. And that's where the 1% comes from, because the 80-20 the 80-20 is 96.4. And then that next step further is the 1%. And the 1%'s net worth is $12 million, minimum, just to rank is a net worth of $12 million. In order to rank as a 5%er, you just need $1 million. So that's really the goal. We're not looking to change the 96%, right? We're looking to create the 4%. We're looking to create the 1%. That's the whole mission, is just to create enough people who can inspire enough people. Start with that first wave of 100 millionaires, move into their 100 millionaires. That's 10,000 millionaires who move into their 100 millionaires. So it's a long mission. Me and Ron did the math, because if you get 80-20 to 80-20, then you could 100 the 100 millionaires, right? This makes sense? Answer the camera if you got it. So we did it, and after 20 years of doing this, say it takes us 5 years to build each millionaire. So 5 years to build a full wave of 100 millionaires. The next 5 years should build another wave of 10,000 millionaires, because each one of them has the mission. Each one of you has the mission. And so that wave of 10,000 millionaires is building their 100. In 20 years, after doing this 4 times, 5 years, we've got 1 billion millionaires. All from one start. All from one millionaire saying, you know what, why not? Why not just choose to make 100? And then bring around them a team of millionaires saying, I'll do 100 too. And holding that accountability, holding each other accountable. There's already a couple people in this room who've already said, yes, I'll be a part of that. I know both of my Ryans. I know Dorina. I know Stephanie. I know Mike. I know Terry, Mitch. Emily, you're the only one who hasn't committed to it yet, but we're working on you. But it's a part of, and Dorina, actually, if you if you see anybody, I'm going to make you a co-host. For anybody who is not currently on, do I want to make Dorina a multifamily investor the co-host for this meeting? Yes. So for anybody who is not on the Zoom call, go to the Facebook link and you can jump right into the Zoom call. If you are one of my celebrity coaches, Carlos Bella talking to you. If you are one of my celebrity coaches, you can jump in with us. And as soon as I see your name, I will bring you into the room. Anthony Walker. So Dorina, if you can promote to panelists, anybody who's in the mentorship program, anybody you recognize, or Mitch Durfee, one of the celebrity coaches, promote them to into the room. For everyone else who is as an attendee, I see you, Ishmael, David, Isabel, John, Louisa, Mario, Nancy, Saeed, Robert, Tony, Victor, I see you guys. I recognize every one of you. We text often, we message often. Randy, good to see you. Nancy, good to see you. So Nicole, we're on the Zoom call. Jump in the Zoom call. It's more powerful over there. So what I'm saying is Ron is not here right now, right? Ron is not here. Ron is my business partner. He controls all of these little side pieces that now Dorina is picking up. And even though I don't have I've already built him as a millionaire, right? Ron went from having a net worth of 150 when we met, or 200,000 when we met, to having over $1 million right now. He's well over $1 million right now. And he's part of a $4 million real estate company, which is pretty cool to say. Even though we have $1.8 million in mortgages, we still own $4 million worth of real estate. We're still pulling in nearly $35,000 a month, month on, just in that one particular business, which is pretty cool. So without him here, I know that any one of you in this room, I could ask you, hey, could you co-host for me? Could you help? Could you support me in this? Because you all have that giving personality. You all have that step up mentality. The people I choose to be around, there's an 80-20 to everybody that I spend my time with. As Terry will make fun of me over time, is I do have a very strong D personality. Even if I came from a C mentality, it's ultimately drives me to, I only spend time with the most important people. You see all the people on the screen. Everybody on the screen is either one of my celebrity coaches or they're one of the people in my mentorship program. So every one of these people is moving with me on a higher level. They're either changing other people or they're accepting to be changed by this program, by the other coaches. And that's the ultimate 80-20, right? Who are you going to hang around with is probably the first place for me to start. 80-20 works in everything. It works in income. It works in your relationships. It works in your time in the gym. It works in your diet. It works in your marketing. It works in your sales. It works in your team that you have around you. It works in your students. It works in your clients. It works everywhere. So for this next 30 seconds, I want you to write down the most important things, top 3 things in your life, the most important things. Go. Now is the time. If you're on the chat, you can easily just type it into the chat. Type in the top 3 things. Put them in one sentence so we can see who you are and what's important to you. I want you to think about relationships, money, business. What are the top 3? If you were to pick health, diet, time, vacations, fun, adventure, relaxation, food, tastes, sounds, music. Top 3 most important things to you. What are they? There we go. Family, health, financial freedom, growing my world to leave a huge legacy. Doug McGurk, of course. You can pull Doug in. He's one of our celebrity coaches. Excellent.
I didn't know you grabbed Doug. That's awesome.
Of course. Yeah, man. I'm grabbing them all, brother. I'm just grabbing millionaires. I'm like, bring it in. Come on. So we've got these 3 things that are important to us. Now, of everybody who put their 3 things, I'm going to go around the room in the celebrity room here. Even the coaches, I want you guys to participate. So Terry, what was your 3 things?
My relationship with my partner.
Relationship with your partner.
The commitment to build 100 millionaires.
Commitment to build 100 millionaires. I love it.
The commitment to build my million.
And commitment to build another million. I love that. Dorina.
Health. So staying healthy for me, everyone around me.
Yep.
Family, that includes relationships with my parents, my spouse, my future family and financial freedom so I can have a lot of choices in life.
Very good. Very good. Financial freedom, family, health. Nicole Emerald online, she's saying career, school, fitness. Yvette saying God, family, success. I love it. Very good. Mike Shine, you're 3.
Wife and kids, family, I guess.
Yep.
Investing and health.
You know what I like? That you 80-20'd family, right? Wife and kids, family, right? So if you had to choose, you already did it. You immediately knew. Very good. I love that.
Not on purpose.
Mitchell. Oh, go ahead, Mike.
Just said not on purpose, but
Not on purpose, because you're subconsciously already tuned in.
Yeah.
If you're on Facebook Live, join us in Zoom. There's a lot of powerful people in here, and I want you to see these guys. Mitchell Jason, what's yours, brother?
Well, number one, I don't know, maybe it's a goal, but buy my mom a house.
I like it.
I'm close. It's been a dream for a while. She's been battling me on it. Like, just accept this. And then obviously continued financial security / freedom. And then health is one that I think a lot of us take for granted. I'm generally a healthy person, and it took a recent injury to realize that that health is a blessing. And not being able to play basketball for 6 months really made me realize that. So continued health is a big one.
I like that. Very good stuff, Mitchell. Ryan McDermott, you're 3.
Yeah, definitely family, long-term wealth creation. And for me, laughing every day.
Laughing every day. I love that. I love that. The power of happiness.
Right.
Cool. Family, wealth, and happiness. I love that. Stephanie Zarati.
All right. For me is health, family, and just having free time. Like, time to do whatever I want.
Very good.
Whatever I want.
Very good. I've got somebody online, Jacques Cap Tatral. You're saying that the Zoom is not working. How did everybody log into the Zoom? Was it on my Facebook or an email I sent? Facebook. So just go to my Facebook page, jump into the event, and I just posted it. That should work.
You do have to register for it through.
Yeah, you have to register.
You do have to register, and the reason you're registering is because of the 80-20 rule. And I'm getting your information. Of all the things I could get from you, the most important thing is your contact information, hence the registration.
Bastard.
I know. I want your phone number, and I can get the rest from that. Ryan McGovern, how are you, brother? What are your 3?
Good. So I picked my family because I love them to death. I have my beautiful girlfriend sitting behind me.
There she is. She's like, no.
No, she doesn't want to be seen, but I picked health and financial freedom.
Health, financial freedom, and your beautiful girlfriend, right?
Absolutely.
Family.
She's learning something right now, sitting in on this.
Nice, very good. And it's really, partnership is very key to success in general. And everybody in here has mentioned their family or their spouse, so very powerful. Emily Williams. What's up, girl? Oh, I'm the 80-20, right? I'm in there.
Yeah.
Oh, Steph, I thought you said it. Go.
No,
Girl, you gotta talk fast. Don't let these guys run you over.
She's asking about you. She's asking about you.
It's your 3.
I'm coming up. There's.
Oh.
She's last.
Sorry, I thought you were...
He's a smart man going last.
That's right. I'll listen to all you guys first before I choose mine.
That's the Mandela rule right there.
That's right. We use that in marketing all the time. 80-20, guys. It's right here, too. Brian, brother. Emily, go ahead.
It is health, family.
Go really loud, Emily.
Can you hear me?
Go
Almost.
super loud. We can hear you, but just scream it so your whole house wakes up.
Okay. Health. Can you hear that?
Yep.
Family.
Louder.
Making money.
You're making money. Scream that one. Making money.
And travel.
All right. So, Emily, one thing, you can't make money. It's already been made by the government. You are just collecting more. You're collecting money that's already been made and has been passed around to other people. So you're collecting money from people who've collected money. That's it. Very good. Anthony Walker, you made it, brother. What are your 3, the top 3?
God, family, and my business.
God, family, and your business. I love it. I love it. Very good, man. Good to see you. Mitchell, how are you, brother? Mitch Durfee. What are your 3?
Man? Yeah, I mean, mine boils down to, it's really simple. My mission is to do more of the things I want to do with the people I want to do them with. So free time, finances, and relationships is definitely my big three.
I love that. I love that. Do more, have more freedom with the people you want to do things with.
Right.
Or do more with
And
the
money
people
to
you
do
want to have the freedom to do more with the people you want to do them with. So it's time, freedom, and your people,
Money.
your family. Very nice. And I saw you and your daughter out there eating ice cream, and unfortunately, I saw it at 2:00 in the morning, and like I wanted ice cream.
Get it. Just
So
do
watching
it.
you and her, I was like, damn. Chris Hayward, are you eating ice cream?
Eating ice cream right now.
Yogurt, my friend.
Nice. What are your three, brother?
Independence, health, and relationships. And those are
Independence,
relationships of all types.
wealth, and relationships. I love it. Doug McGurk, I expect something good from you, man. Go deep.
You guys all had amazing stuff, and I think for me it's that freedom, right? Freedom to spend the time with family, friends, to do projects together, to add tremendous value so that we can all prosper. So ultimately, spiritual, emotional, and financial freedom.
So thank you, Doug, and thank you everyone who participated. Thank you everybody on Facebook Live who's in the chat participating. Thank you everybody in the chat here. I see you all. One of the biggest things that you can do as a marketer, as a business owner, is pull your audience. That's the 80-20. I just want to know what you want, and then I'm going to go sell it. Does that make sense? You just went through the actual practical exercise of polling your audience, polling the people who are most important to you and saying, okay, Terry wants more time with his relationships. He wants more money. Darina wants to spend more time with her family, money. Mike Shine, family, money, freedom. Mitch, family, freedom, money. Every single one of you is saying something that I can hear and pull. And so now the rest of this conversation is going to move in that direction. Does that make sense? What else would I talk about? What else would I talk about other than freedom, which is created by financial independence, which allows you to spend more time with your family? Right? This entire conversation will be 80-20. Is that okay? If I dive into exactly what you're looking for? Yes? Very good. So 80-20, how do we get more freedom? It's simple. Have more money. Because this is correlation to, well, it either takes time or it takes money, right? Now there's this other element that's mysterious, and that's why you're all here, is with the right education, you no longer need money or time. With the right knowledge, you can skip past something. You can skip past something with identified energy, with the focused energy. A very focused energy doesn't actually need a lot of time to get anything done. A super focused, high intense beam laser can cut through things, right? It's just light. Unfocused light is just good for keeping your vision going, right? But super focused light can cook, it can heat, it can cut, it can remove hair, it can repair your eyes, right? When we focus the energy that we have into one thing, we're able to make massive results. Is this making sense?
Yes.
So the 80-20 principle is more than just a concept that you should understand. It's a concept you can live by. You must live by. And in order for it to work, you have to get rid of the rest. 80-20 on a plant, 80-20 on a tree. When I see a tree blooming, I look at the buds that are going to make the most sense and I cut the ones that don't. Get rid of all the, have you ever pruned a tree? Anybody seen a tree pruned or heard of it, or a grapevine? So I grew up with grapevines, and we would go out and we would look at the plants and we'd say, okay, this plant is producing, it's putting all its branches out there, but we know that 80% of those branches don't need to be there. 80% of those branches are not going to actually even produce fruit this year. What they'll do is they'll draw in light and they'll draw out resources to get more light. And so we know that there's 20%, the 2-year-old branch on a grapevine. The 2-year-old branch is what produces the fruit, not the new stuff. The new stuff, in fact, we don't really need. And so the tree will actually produce and produce and produce. But if you cut it right at the beginning, because if you cut it like, just a little like an inch long, you cut that little branch, all the energy stays in the fruit. Whereas if you don't get them all small, it becomes, these things will go 6 feet long, 10 feet long. They'll just keep going and growing, and they'll block the older 2-year-old branch that could produce. And so you're allowing these big 80% branches to go out, and they're big and they look powerful, and it makes the tree look like it's doing a lot. The tree's very busy, but the production underneath is being stopped by all of the busyness on the top, all of the extra growth that you didn't cut when it was small. It's the little habit. It's the little thing that you allow to creep in when it's small. There's a saying, I believe Warren Buffett's the one who coined this, where he said the chains of burden are light until they're so heavy they can't be broken. The chains of habit are light until they're so heavy they can't be broken. And it's like a little lace just being tied around your wrist, just a little lace, and then it's a thicker lace and it's thicker, and it's sat there a little longer, and it's accumulated strength, and before you know it, you can't even move, and you've built a life around yourself of these walls and these traps that are not real, but you believe they are. And I know where you're at, because at every level there's another devil. So I don't care how far I've gotten, I notice more of those little vines that I should have cut a long time ago. Does that make sense? And as you're visualizing this, you can see it in your relationships. Vines you should have cut a long time ago. Habits you should have cut a long time ago. And you can see it in your wealth principles, in the things you're doing every day for your financial freedom, little habits, little things that you allowed to grow a little too long, a little too far. And now instead of going out there with literally when it's a tiny little branch, you can flick it with your finger and that thing will die. When it's a new concept, you can just say, you can dismiss it and it's gone. It gets to the point where if you let it go for a year or two, you have to go and get a little hacksaw to cut these things out, because they bark over and they become second year branches. And if you have a vine that's all second year branches too long, it's a vine that produces tiny grapes, very small fruit. When the roots are there, it's the same root, it's the same person. Just they're going in too many directions, way too many directions. How about pumpkins? You ever seen those big prize pumpkins? The secret with the prize pumpkin is a gamble. The secret to the prize pumpkin is that instead of allowing all the different flowers to bud and bloom, they cut them all off. They keep the stem close. They keep the stem right to that first pumpkin, and that's it. The gamble. As soon as a pumpkin forms, everything else is gotten rid of. Everything else is cut, and they remove when they're small, they remove all the bad habits. They remove all the bad little growth that's going to come out and take all the energy. And so it's the same in your business. When something is small and it seems like you have just the hint that it may be ineffective, you have just the hint that, you know what, this is a bad system, and then your mind says it's temporary. We'll just toss it in place for now. Or when your relationship, when you think, well, this is not a big deal, I'll let this slide for now. You know, he or she's not going to care if I don't take out the trash right now, or he or she's not going to notice if I don't just do the commitment that I said that I would do for them. My business, my client's not going to notice if I don't do that little piece that I said. Well, my competition's not doing it, so I guess it's okay if I don't do it. You know, I'm still doing better than everybody else, even though you can do a little better just by having one little system improved. Because on the other side of it, because we're talking about the negative, pulling out the negative and the bad, right? On the other side of the 80-20 is the ability to really grow, the ability to really create something that's going to explode and expand and go out further and further and push. And I told you, Stephanie, right, that I would tell you what my 3 are. My 3 are very simple. Build millionaires, build millionaires, build millionaires. I have one thing that's important to me. It's build millionaires. That's it. Because a long time ago, I said, you know what? If I build enough millionaires, I'll have the best relationships. If I build enough millionaires, I'm going to keep my mind right. I build enough millionaires, I'm going to make sure I'm in the gym. I build enough millionaires, I'm going to marry a millionaire. Does this make sense? Right? I realized you can cut all of these away by just doing one thing. Make the people around you happier, right? Surround you, and if you want wealth, teach wealth. If you want happiness, show happiness, teach happiness. If you want better relationships, have a better relationship. Focus on those things. What you focus on expands. Focus on the things that really matter. Build the people around you. You're going to have some pretty amazing people around you, right? There's a saying, right? The grass is always greener on the other side. We know that it does look greener on the other side because it's just further away and it's all collected together and it does look greener. There's another saying that goes with that. If you just water the grass you're on, your grass will become greener. Just take care of what you already own. So many times people come into this program, people come to me and say, I want to quit my job. I want to do what you're doing. And I agree, yes. But understand what I'm doing is an investment. It's not my main source of money. I'm investing, right? I'm bringing money in from money that I already made. I'm reinvesting money or relationships that I already had. I'm just reinvesting those pieces. It's an investment. Real estate is an investment. Now my flips are my income. My real estate brokerage is my income. The money that I pull from the coaching program, that's income. I have to work for this. Now, some people's perception of work. Do I look like I'm working right now? I'm having fun. And I enjoy what I do. And so I've found over time the ability to get that fun that creates money, that fun that brings in value. And fortunately, just like you, I'm one of those people who loves to help other people. And you know how I know you are too? Because at some point you did something and somebody thanked you and you smiled. Think of that point right now. Think of a time you did something for somebody else, you didn't expect anything, didn't cost you anything. You said, hey, you look awesome. And they smiled and you felt great and you smiled, right? That little compliment paid you a compliment, paid you something, right? A little different. You gave something, you got something back. And so I know that you like to do things for free. You just haven't identified, maybe some of you haven't identified the things you like to do for free. Once you start identifying the things you like to do for free for other people that involve other people, well, then do more of those, right? You'll find the one that pays you. It's just a matter of doing things that you're really passionate about. And I hate when gurus say, find your love, find your passion, and go do more of it. Because it's just too vague. It's just not detailed. It's not ground down enough where it makes sense. Because shit, I love watching Netflix. Does that mean that I'm going to get paid for watching Netflix? I watch it with my girlfriend. Does that mean I'm helping somebody, right? No, although there is a job where you can cuddle with people. And so I suppose somebody has monetized even cuddling. So it must be in line with the universe, right? So the principle here is not necessarily the thing that you do that matters, it's how you do it. It's not necessarily a task, because in reality, if I were to choose real estate over baking pies, I wouldn't give a shit. To be perfectly honest, if it came down to it and I was looking for the perfect pie recipe, I was looking to create the perfect pie, and I knew that there was somebody behind me about to pay me a $20,000 transaction for that pie, I'd do that too. Does that make sense? It's not the technical skill. It's nothing about real estate is what attracts me to real estate, other than what it's able to produce for the people around me. The housing that it produces is a constant reward that I'm able to get every single month. The ability to go by it and say, hey, that's improved, the equity is sitting there, that's a function of how much value it's creating. So I've simply just found a way to invest in something that adds more value to other people over time. Building your business is the same thing. Building your business is probably the first place that you want to start in your career where you're at, right? We were talking to Ryan McGovern, and Ryan doesn't like his job, right? And this is live being recorded, so deal with it, Ryan.
Let it out there.
So it's one of those pieces where you look at your life and you say, I don't like this thing. Maybe it's the way the thing goes. It may not be the thing itself. It may be the way you're interacting with the thing. It may be the way that you're interacting within the job, within the arena. Because I know other guys like Brandon Burns, who I interviewed last week, who works a full-time job, owns a property management company, and has 50 units in his business. 50 units that he owns, 50 rental properties. And he loves everything that he's doing. Loves his job, loves his property management company, loves his tenants, loves his properties. Because he's just found a way to love it. He just says, you know what? And I asked the story, how'd you come to this? How'd you come into real estate? Anybody watch the interview with Brandon Burns? So phenomenal interview. He's a real inspiration. Very cool. So what he said was, well, when I was younger, my dad used to own these 2 marinas, and I'd go and I'd be working on the marina with him, young, working hard. And I remember the guys with the biggest boats and the hottest wives were real estate investors. I'm thinking he's going with the hard work ethic. He was there with his dad working all these hours and he just loved to work. But it wasn't that. What motivated him was that the guys who had the biggest boats and the hottest wives were in real estate. He said, that's the career for me. That's where I'm going. And that's the reality of it, guys and gals. That's why we're in real estate, is because it pays us really well. And it creates freedom for us. It creates freedom. But we have to focus on the one thing first, and that's create the value for other people. In doing it in real estate is just a mode, right? You can do it in stocks, you can do it in business, but strongly, the more value you create, that 80-20, if you think about 80-20 in one factor, instead of all of the different facets of it, what is the one 80-20 thing that would make somebody else money right now? What is the one thing I could do to make somebody else money right now? And that's why I'm on Facebook Live constantly. It's why I educate myself constantly. It's why I have to go and build these groups and educate other people and encourage people to go and do more in the world, is because I know that 80-20 is with each and every one of you. The more value I can deliver, if I think my health, well, then I got to go deliver value to somebody who wants to go to the gym with me, somebody who's going to hold me accountable, right? If I think wealth, well, I got to go add value to somebody who wants more wealth, somebody who's in the business that I want to be in, somebody who has the skill set that I desire. Well, I'm going to go help them and add value to their lives, and they'll add value to my life. I was looking for coaches. How many coaches in the room right now? Put your hands to the camera if you're a coach. That's it. I was looking for coaches, and I said, you know what? I'm going to go add some value to the coaches. I'm going to go add some value to the coaching community, bring them together. And in return, every single one of the coaches in here is looking to do one-on-one coaching sessions for free with my mentorship program. How cool is that? That's living actual proof that once you decide to go add value to people, value will be added to your business, value will be added to you. So it's not, and I know it sounds so redundant because you've heard it before. You've heard it from other people. Oh, just go help enough people and they're gonna give you what you want. Right? Zig Ziglar says, if you want something, all you have to do is go and help enough people and you can have anything you want in the world. Just help enough people get what they want. If you help enough people get what they want, you can get what you want. And it's true. And I was on the call the other day with a gentleman. His name is Jamal Williams. He's 21 years old and he lives in North Carolina. And Jamal came through a program with me where he spent almost $40,000 to be in that program. 21-year-old kid. Do you know the reason? He said, I don't want to make the mistakes that everybody else has made. I don't want to make the same mistakes that my parents made. I want to make the same mistakes that my family's made. And he said, I'm from the Caribbean, right? I'm from the Caribbean where it's laid back. People don't do any of this. And then I came here and I'm realizing even people here don't want to do any of this. And I thought America was where people came to hustle and work. He said here, it's I feel like I'm the only one who's thinking this way. And then I found that group, and that group thinks this way. He said it was worth being in. It was just worth being a part of that. And I realized at 21 years old, if you can look into the future and you can see where you're going because you're on the same track as everybody else, that could be terrifying. For him, that must have been a terrifying thought. Oh my God, I'm going to the same place as those guys. Fuck, something's got to change. And then you deliver the opportunity where you see other people all moving and changing and you say, I'm running with these guys. I don't care what it costs. Whatever it is, I'll figure that out. Especially when they're saying, hey, we're going to teach you how to double your income or increase more. Does that make sense? I agree.
The irony is we all want to move to the Caribbean.
The irony. Well, he will. He'll just be a king when he goes back. Mm-hmm. So here's where I'm going with this. What I told Jamal was, you want to be successful in real estate investing. You want to be successful as a wholesaler. He said, yes, I do. Yes. I was like, do you want to build a powerful buyer's list? He said, yes, I need to get a buyer's list. I was like, Jamal, do you want more mentors? Do you want people who are going to teach you? He's like, yeah, that's exactly what I need. That's why we're on this call right now. I was like, all right, here's your deal. Go in, and do you want to buy property? Do you want to own a bunch of property one day? He said, yeah, that's financial freedom. That's what it all equals to. So I told him, and this is the 80-20. So write this down. This is the tip that I saved for the end. I'm giving it to you a little early because I want to interview some of my people here. if you want to get really rich, build a buyer's list in the market that you want to buy with the people who are buying the product that you want to own, and then go and ask them what they're looking for. Don't ask them for lunch. Don't ask them to take them out to coffee. Don't ask them to hang out and mentor you. Go out and find the richest people who have the life that you want, have the product that you want. If you're looking to invest in real estate, if you're looking to buy stocks, or if you're looking to build a business, go to the person who's already built, bought, or owns what you want, and then ask them what they want. Hey, do you want more of what you've already got? How could I help you get more of what you already got? Right? How could I help you get more of that? And what he wanted was more real estate. So I told him, well, go find somebody who's bought a lot of real estate, type in you want, in the zip code you want, in the city you want, and then ask them what they're looking for. How do they find it? Sure, I'll go do all that work for free, of course. You're a wholesaler anyway. You're working for free anyway. Go and work for people who have what you want. And guess what? They're going to take some time to answer your questions because you're giving them value. You're delivering them deals. You can deliver anybody deals. You want a mentor, go deliver them deals. That makes sense? 80-20, man. 80-20 your business. Yeah, super simple. Find the people who have everything that you want, and then go and deliver exactly what they want. There's a book of the week. Mike Shine, you ready to talk about the book of the week?
Absolutely. So, we read a book a week, and I just have to say that this book, you could read every week. It kind of reminds me of the 4-Hour Work Week, but it's so chock full of advice and tips that you can't finish it in a week. There's just so much. Just read the bio of Perry Marshall. Wrote the world's most popular book on internet advertising, Ultimate Guide to Google AdWords, and is one of the world's most expensive business consultants. His clients span 300 plus industries, and he speaks at conferences worldwide. I just cannot tell you how valuable this book is. And again, you can read it in a week, but you could read it every week for a year and you wouldn't get everything out of this book. So I recommend getting it. I have the Audible, and now I'm going to go back and read the actual book. It's just amazing.
If you go chapter by chapter, the book is just, the way it's laid out, the way it's designed is full of stories. It's full of organized, I want to show you, right? So if you go chapter by chapter, you can actually learn one lesson at a time.
Right.
Can you guys see that?
Brilliant.
So chapter 6, simplify your life with the power triangle. Let the power triangle work for you, where to get lists, and the Pareto summary. And every single one of the chapters ends with a Pareto summary. It's super powerful. In fact, if I wanted to, I could teach a course just on these 25 chapters. I could literally spend an hour on each one of these chapters.
And the
guy next 25 weeks. Mike, I got an idea. Hold on.
Yeah, let's do it. The guy who wrote the original, Richard Koch, who wrote the original 80-20 book, wrote the foreword for this book. And it's such a testimonial to what Perry Marshall has done. If you want to find out more about Perry Marshall, he was also on Bigger Pockets. He's just a rock star in this area. So if you're doing sales and marketing, yeah, amazing.
Phenomenal book. And I strongly suggest everybody at some point read it. To my mentorship program, for everybody in the mentorship program, yes, that's right. I know what you're thinking. Shit, I already have a book to read this week. So do me and Mike. Me and Mike read close to 2 to 3 books every single week because, unfortunately,
assignment this week I had to read Darina's book.
Right.
Go for No.
Go for No. Phenomenal.
That's awesome.
Yes. So Darina's running a wholesaling team, and we mentioned it earlier. In a wholesaling business, your job is to go and find property cheap and then sell it to a successful investor who can close the deal, who take down the deal. And wholesalers have these cool words where they call it taking down the deal, right? I only heard this when I started really talking to wholesalers, because in the past we would say, as investors, say, close it, right? Just buy it, close it, whatever. Wholesalers, they say take it down. And so I'm incorporating that because it's just so badass, right? Because they're so used to passing the deal around, like it's like herding sheep. And now they're like lions taking down gazelles. Does that sound cool or what? Like being a wholesaler taking down a deal, when they look at you as people who are buying and closing deals, they're looking at you like a lion, like somebody who takes down the gazelle, right? Like you stand out. You're a little different because you're closing the deal. You're taking it down, right? Whereas for a wholesaler, they don't have that play yet. They don't have that play. And I was on the phone with Dan Zatowski the other day, and he was saying, he's like, yeah, I don't wholesale anymore. He's like, I don't even flip anymore. He's like, honestly, I just hold. I'd rather just hold. And what I really prefer is I want to hold paper. I love being the note on the deal, and I buy it and I sell it and I hold the paper. And that's like the ultimate. And what he said is, I don't grind anymore. I float on the cloud. I float on a cloud and everything happens around me. And he's just floating and going through life and everything's happening. But when he was younger, he was grinding. Right? And the difference between the grind and the floating on the cloud is he's just a happier person. Does that make sense? So Dan Zatowski, he owns 600 single-family homes all across the country, and he's shifted from market to market. He was a virtual wholesaler, then he was a virtual flipper, now he's a virtual buy and hold guy, and he's shifting across the country. All he does is single-family homes. He got out of the multifamily business; it's not his thing, and I did his interview, right? So if you haven't watched it, go and watch it. It's super powerful, especially. Go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt, but I watched it. The Dan's house. Wow, that's an impressive guy, and that's where I'm heading.
Yeah.
Just listening to him, the books, and wow, that's a good one. Yeah.
I love it. I love it, and that's what's amazing about going out and helping more people, helping more coaches. I got people like that now in my pocket. I got him out there, and he's like, "Yeah, man, we can work together. Sure, we'll figure something out." And it's that desire to go help bigger people that is allowing all of us access to bigger people. Does that make sense? Yeah. So it's giving all of us the tools. We have a room full of authors in this little area right here. How many authors does anybody know here? How many authors do you know? 1, 2, maybe?
2, 3, 4.
In this room right now, there's 4 of us, right? Right here. You got Terry, me, Mitch, and
Doug.
Mike.
Doug, 2, right? 5.
Doug's an author.
5. Doug. 5.
Good book.
Right. Doug, what's your book? Free plug.
It's called, well, I have a couple, but it's called Under Construction, Navigating the Detours on the Road to Recovery. And it's really about the case study about people who struggle with addiction, but really is because what I found was people are addicted to the stories they tell, the states that they're in. The people who don't succeed hold on real tight to the reasons why they can't, and the people who do hold on real tight to the reasons why they can. So I just found it a really powerful way to help people get off of break the chains of addiction to non-resourceful state stories and strategies.
Nice.
Very powerful. Thank you, Doug. Give Doug a round of applause for being an author. The coach, he toured with Tony Robbins. You can actually see his interview. I'm not sure if it's up yet or if it's coming up, but just recorded this week.
Thanks, Mitch.
There's the book. There's the book. And so what we did is we did a little interview, just talked about advice and his 3 things. He has freedomhackyou.com. So it's all about, pulling people out of the wrong mental states. He owns real estate and he's also a coach, toured with Tony Robbins, master of NLP. So really cool interview. The other really cool interview is Mitch Durfee, who I think I've interviewed like 3 times, honestly, a whole bunch of times. Mitch, what is your book? What do you got?
I got a few of them. You can find them all on Amazon, but the one that I always push the most or promote the most is Serve to Win. It's 8 steps to creating a living and a life, and it breaks down a lot of like the taking action, the 80-20 rule, networking. Yes, that's the one. Yeah. It's the book that took me. Yes, guys, man, hold on. Let me get a screenshot. Don't move. No one move. It's really the book that helped me grow my business. But what's even cooler is when I realized that once I started helping other people grow their business, my business it tripled in the first year I started doing that. And I've taken businesses from a couple $100,000 a year to north of 2 million by doing this. I love you guys. I love all of you. So much love in this room. It's just simple values, right? Like when you do help other people get what they want, you somehow the universe says, you know what, let me return that favor and give it back to you tenfold. So it's my little selfish secret, I think, but I love helping people. I'm addicted to that feeling when I see people succeed. And that book, you know, I love getting the messages when people like read through the first couple of chapters, like, man, I know that I wanted to get started on this and I finally just got started. So if you want to take your business to the next level, I think a lot of these principles you probably already know, but I think when you see them on paper in front of you, it's like, damn, I really need to jump on that. So thanks, guys.
Yeah, and by the way, if you need some help, you know, promoting your book and getting it happen, talk to Mitch, because he crushes it with people, just spreading the love. And it's important that we all do that to like make a difference and share our stories, because that's how we inspire others to lift us all.
Absolutely true. I love it. I
We
love it.
love
You know,
Doug.
Mitch Jason is the author of the book Scaredy Cat Investing. Right, Mitch? You got your book right there?
Yeah, I always got it handy. Yeah.
There it is.
I don't have my pretty face on it like Mitch Durfee, though. He's got a lot of hair in his book cover. I don't know what's going on when that picture's from. Yeah, this is my little newbie investing book for those getting started. Teach you how to analyze property, all that good stuff.
I recommend it. I recommend it. I recommend it.
See that?
Yeah.
See
Make
that?
you
Every single one
shine,
of these
making me
guys.
shine.
Read that book. I don't have it with me because I'm in the office, but I do own it.
Every
Yes.
single person here has, like, the coaches have written a book, or they're out there actually actively writing their books in their coaching right now. It's one of those strengths to, like, once you realize the 80-20 of how do you help more people, it really is how do you put what you know down on something solid and then go provide that to more people. Because when I pass something like this along, knowledge instantly is in your head, right? I can say, here's the homework of the week, guys. Go and read this. When the week is over, I know we're having a better conversation. You've leveled up. Now I know you're in line with this part of the business. Now you're in line with this part of the business. It's one of the reasons I promote books over podcasts. And I have started 2 podcasts, Alchemist Insights. You can see our interviews online. Me and Ryan McDermott are going to be doing an interview very soon, so you're going to get to see his side of the financial industry. He's just got to get compliance permission. So
Right.
here's a fun
Ryan's
fact.
always-
Don't miss that.
Yeah, right.
That's right. Can't mess with that.
It's going to be a very good interview. I just finished one with Terry Wager. This was this week, actually. And Terry went really deep into the mindset of real estate investors, how to move forward, how to get out of your head, how to make the calls happen. He's a coach that I brought in. We've been talking about this for a long time because people procrastinate in this business. People, they want what's good for them, but then they don't do what's good for them. And so Terry started Generator Coaching almost at the same time that I started Alchemist University. It was like this symbiotic thing. We've been talking about working together for a long time. And he's always asking, what is holding you guys back? I was like, dude, like fucking phone calls? It's the stupidest shit. Like they're afraid of jumping on the phone and making money. Like, I don't know what it is. And he was like, put me in the room with him. Put me in the room with him. So what I'm offering, my mentor program, everybody who's in the mentor program, is over the next 6 weeks, 8 weeks, however long you guys are still in it, we're going to have each one of the celebrity coaches do a one-on-one with you. So it's part of the program is that we're going to have celebrity coaches do one-on-ones to make sure that you're moving forward. And they're going to sit with you for 20, 30 minutes, whatever it is via Zoom. Obviously, we're not coughing on each other. But for 20, 30 minutes, they're going to sit with you and pull out all the stops, right? If it's Mitch Durfee, he's going to be helping you build your marketing campaign. If it's Doug, he's going to be pulling out the emotional garbage that's stopping you from moving forward. If it's Terry, he's going to be pulling out the emotional strategies to get you correct so you're moving and doing the right things. If it's Mike Shine, he's going to make sure legally you are all correct. Everything about your business is structured legally. You want an attorney to look at your business and look at your structures and make sure that the documents you're using are accurate and correct. And it really helps to have some legal advice. Who here knows that they could use a little bit of legal advice in their life? Yeah, so me too. The more you make, the more you're sued. So, so it's very careful to protect yourself.
You're going
What
to
is
create that. Cut that out.
No. We don't want to manifest that.
Yeah, right.
Here's one thing that one of my mentors told me early on, and I used to work with him. I used to buy a lot of property for him. This was Bill Mandel, who's the partner of Tom Caffarella in Ocean City Development. And he said it to me, and he said, look, nobody wants to get sued. Nobody wants to get sued. I don't ever want to see it. I want to make sure it doesn't happen again. But at the end of the day, if you're not getting sued, you're not doing enough business. and it's almost a function of results. If you're not, be clean, be ethical, be moral, do things the right way. But at the same time, you'll know you're doing good when a lot of people know about you, you're making a lot of money, and there's one person who decides, they're making a lot of money, I want to go get some of that. That's when they're sued, not for doing something wrong, but sued for just being too big. That's when Walmart gets sued for being too big. Oh, you're the biggest employer here, we're suing you. Aha, they've done a good job. Does that make sense? The service in the community. When Amazon gets sued for just being too good at what they're doing, for becoming a monopoly, for being too big, good job. Excellent. Don't worry, we've saved money for this one. We knew this was coming, right? So you don't ever want to be sued. And what Mike will prevent is the wrong suings, right? It's okay to be sued for being a multi-billionaire and building too fast, right? For pissing the world off by making too much money. Not okay to be sued for not having your structures in place, for saying the wrong thing, and that's why Ryan is going to get his permission to be on the podcast, and he knows all of his compliance. He's got to run through and make sure everything is correct. Get the right coaches.
Walter, I also do this other thing where I close deals.
You close deals, Mike.
Yeah, so if people buy real estate in Massachusetts, Rhode Island, or Connecticut, I can actually close that deal.
So here's the other thing. Mike will protect you on the purchases. He'll make sure and Mike has been, if you're interested, Mike is connecting with all the private money lenders. Yeah. So Mike can actually connect you to private money, to hard money. He's building the relationships because he understands, hey, look, what do my investors want? They want to do more closings with me? Then I'm going to have to go find the money. Their biggest issue is they don't have the money. They don't know where the deal is. No problem. And we coach with each other. But I coach with all my coaches, right? Everybody in here, we transfer coaching with each other. And so me and Mike were in a coaching session, and he said, how do I build my business? What do investors really want? How can I close more deals? I told him, well, they all seem to be asking me about where the money is. So, so it's like, Mike, as an attorney, you know everybody who's lending private money and hard money, and you know all the people who have the cash sitting around.
That was
a couple calls.
That was a brilliant piece of advice because, as you know, I do some private lending, but every time people would come to me, I'd say, well, I don't have very much money, and it's lent out to 3 people. So just that little subtle twist to say, well, wait a sec, go get more money and you can get more deals. That was perfect. Thank you.
Absolutely, brother. Of course. Yeah, give Mike a round of applause for taking advice. Hey, it's not easy to ask for advice, man, even from your friends, right? Even from a coach who you've paid to get advice from, even from a mentor you've paid, it's still, some people can have a difficult time asking. So what I really want to talk about, what Mike did was, within an hour, he texted me, I found $1 million.
Right.
Within an hour, I said, wow, great job, Mike. At 12%, he said, yeah. So I said, okay, go find $1 million at 10%.
Yeah, I found it.
Already found it. He literally texted me, already found it.
I found $1 million at 8%. I'm just working on it. Swear to God. So
this is the power of intention, right? When somebody seeks out to be more valuable to a community, the answer is there already. It's already sitting there. It's just a matter of asking. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Very powerful stuff. So without further ado, Ryan McDermott, what can you say on camera? What do you do in your business?
Sure. Well, my main interest in kind of joining the group, was, I'm trying to kind of grow a real estate portfolio myself. So for anybody out there that's a wholesaler or realtor that works with investors, I'm interested in purchasing one of the 619 2-to-4 families that are in the 02026 zip code, which is Dedham, Massachusetts.
Very powerful. So Ryan is one of my mentorship program members, and he's very clear about what he wants. He wants a 2-family in Dedham.
That's right.
To me again?
Yeah, no, 2-to-4 family in Dedham.
2-to-4 family. How many others? 600 and?
There's 619 2-to-4 families, and I know that because of Dorina.
He knows because he went to another mentorship program member and said, "Hey, can you service me here?" And Dorina was smart enough to say, "Hey, I'm a real estate agent. Let me work with everybody. Let me see what you need, what you want." And Ryan was smart enough to say, "Hey, well, this is what I'm looking for. Give me all the information in this area." And very quickly, he had the tools that he needed to go and hunt. And now he knows what to ask for. In Dedham, if you know anybody who's looking to sell a property addendum, a 2 to 4 family, Ryan McDermott is looking to buy. That's the place to go. Now, who else we got? Darina, what are you looking for? You're so helpful to everybody in the group.
Well, I'm looking for more people to join our wholesaler mastermind. I think there's a lot of value for everyone, for Ryan, for Anthony, for pretty much anybody who is on this call, looking for like-minded people who are hungry, who are hustlers, and who understand that this is the way to continue with that movement of building millionaires and wholesalers, collecting, basically helping other people to get the money, to get the deal, and collect more to then invest yourself. And ultimately, that's the whole idea of creating wealth through this process. So later on, we can all partner and teach others to do the same. And Walter, you have such an amazing gift of making people feel good about themselves. I think you really live by that principle of what you want for yourself, you want for everybody.
Yep.
And that abundance of kindness and energy and wisdom is just floating out. So I wake up super excited to join this call at 10 o'clock every Saturday. And thanks so much for your help of kind of starting off this wholesaler mastermind at 5, getting everybody fired up, pumped. So then it's sort of like much easier to take over and do the coaching calls, not the coaching calls, cold calling session. So thanks so much. And that's pretty much my focus of this week, next week, and probably the next 2 months of building a team of wholesalers. And the goal is to have 100 of them.
Very good. That's
So
your 100 millionaires. I love it.
Yeah, keep inviting. If you have a friend who is thinking to have career in real estate but out of job right now, that's the great opportunity for them to dive in, learn a new skill, start calling. And we provide all the tools. The Mitches are being so super helpful, and just for your guys' content is just worth joining. I learned so much, and I look forward to those complimentary sessions you mentioned. So I'm gonna sign up for that.
The one-on-ones with the Mitches, with the
Yep.
coaches, absolutely, they're very powerful. Each one of these guys is champions, and so it's pretty amazing that they're looking to help the way they are. And it's interesting how the 100 millionaires goal is infectious, right? And thank you, Darina, for everything you're doing with the wholesale group. So that was something we built originally. We got a whole bunch of deals from it. The wholesale team originally was just to build me deals, right? And we were adding value and teach people how to get richer. And it turned into so many more things. And when Darina came to me and she said, yeah, I want to build my business, I said, well, you want to build your business, then 80-20, right? We went, should you work with buyers or sellers? 80-20, work with buyers. Excellent. There's more money there. There's more buyers there. There's more of them.
Painful decision, but I stick to particular group of who I want to work with, and I already seen results that I'm attracting because I'm focusing on particular group, not like all over the place. It really sucks when you're like trying to say yes to everybody. Like, okay, whatever is most important, that's what's the focus of the week and the month and the year.
Yes.
One thing, and I'm reading this book still.
The one thing, there you go. The one thing's all about 80-20.
Yeah, that is.
It's helpful. It's helpful if you grasp on it and make notes and really put it on whiteboards too.
Yeah. The 80-20, the one thing is the ultimate 80-20 because it's 80-20 of 80-20 of 80-20 of 80-20 until you get down to that one thing. It's such a great book.
It's a focusing book based on a focusing question. What is the one thing such that by doing it, everything else is easier or unnecessary? And it's powerful.
Yep.
Ryan McDermott, there's somebody asking for your contact information in the chat. If you could just put in your number in there, your email address. I believe that there are people who got deals for you, bro. Look at that.
I love it. Awesome.
And thank you, Darina, for running the wholesale team. That has really transformed the amount of deal flow coming through for not just for me, not just for you, but for all of our investors who are in this community who are able to communicate and articulate what they're looking for. Now the wholesalers say, well, okay, Ryan's looking for this. I'm going to go get it for him. Ryan McGovern, you know what to do, brother. What are you looking for?
So I am looking for houses and a team. So I'm in Pawtucket and I'm looking for 3 families, 4 families. And I'm also looking to do the same thing that Doreena's doing and building a wholesale team. So I'm doing my best to learn from everybody in here, online, just whoever. I mean, I had a really good call with Mario this morning. He gave me a lot of really good information. So just looking to utilize everything that I get and pass it out to other people so they could work with me, I could work with them. Help me, help you, help clients. I mean, I want to buy Pawtucket. So please reach out to me. Anything you have, any questions that you have, I can help you. Objections, if you need tips, how to get started, certain softwares to use, websites to use, different ways to pull lists, I can pull lists for you. Just reach out to me. I mean, I know a lot of people around me. If I don't have the answer for you, I guarantee I can find somebody that does have the answer that you need. So, and like I said, and listen to everybody that's on this panel list right here, because everybody in here is so helpful. And real estate's one of the things where people really want to help you out. I mean, Walter's been a huge help. Dorena, I've listened to both Mitch's, Mike, Terry. I mean, everybody in here is very good and very helpful. So just looking forward to growing with everybody. But wholesalers, Pawtucket, please.
I love that. And you can go see Ryan McGovern's live on Facebook. We did it together. He and I sat down for the interview, one of our coaching sessions, and he was out there and he was very honest. We had a lot of fun. And his goal is, really to build wealth for his family. Like, it's just to, leave something behind and just really do good for his family. It's a really powerful why. One of the other things I noticed as you were talking, Ryan, was that you mentioned you want to build a wholesale team, which is awesome, because so does Mike Shine. And Mike Shine is also in Rhode Island. And so he has been looking to work with somebody who will do what Dorena does for me and my team, or our team. So she leads the group and does all the stuff, but notice I jumped off the call last night.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she's the energy, she's holding it all together. But at the end of the day, I orchestrated, brought it all together, bring people through, and she's operating. I'm still the bigger buyer of the two of us. And so no matter how many deals that come through, she'll have to offload something. And there's a good chance she'll want to partner with me on deals. And so it gives me an opportunity. I know Mike's the same way. Mike is not afraid of partnering with the right people. And he knows where all the money is. So
yeah, so I'll definitely schedule a one-on-one with you, Mike. So, I mean, you know a lot more than I do, but maybe there's something that I can help you out with as well.
I don't know about that. Yeah, this will work out well, Ryan. Nice job.
Awesome. I'll be in touch. Thank you.
Very good. Stephanie, what are you looking for?
Well, let's see. I'm a hairdresser, hairstylist, business owner, and I'm looking for other stylists to help me build my divine hair design business. I want them to be passionate and just to help me build my business, and I can help them build their own.
Yes, very good. So if you're a stylist in the Merced, California area, Modesto, Turlock, she is building 12 more locations. She's looking for hairstylists who want to make more money and spend less time in the salon. We have a system that she and I have worked very hard. Well, she worked harder than I did, but we have a system that we've put together where you can actually work, and in 4 hours a day, you can pull in $70,000 to $80,000 a year just by reducing the amount of garbage that you're doing. It's, again, the 80-20 within the 80-20, and you have only clients that you like, only clients that tip well, only clients that pay very well. It's because she knows the system to earn a six-figure income in the hairstyling business. Now, if you want to work less hours and then you want to work completely out of it, like Stephanie can do it, she can travel over the country and still be making money, then you have to learn the skills of the 80-20 beyond just the 80-20. You get to the point where it doesn't need you anymore, where you're building businesses. Without owning the salon, you still can own the chair. You rent the chair and you rent the chair out to somebody else, and now you have a team of stylists under you. And Stephanie has a strategy to do that. She and I mapped it all out. We worked pretty diligently. I'll say we worked diligently. And for about a week straight, until everything was figured out, and now she's out there promoting and building it. So if you know anybody in that Merced, California, Modesto area, she's looking for partners out there. So keep up the good work, Steph. She's looking for leaders, people who can lead the salons, because there's no way she's going to be at all 12. She has every intention of traveling and having fun during the growth of this business. So thank you very much, Steph. Thank you, Ryan. Ryan, thank you, Darina. Where is Anthony? Anthony Walker, what are you looking for, brother?
All right, so I'm in Jamaica Plain, and I'm also looking for 2, 3, 4 families. So I'm looking for wholesalers in this area that can help me find those properties.
Very good. Jamaica Plain, clear, to the point. 2 families, 3 families. Anthony, that was simple, man. You've really practiced this. I love that. I can't wait for our Monday call. I want to see how you and your sister are doing. I'm looking forward to it, bro. Chris Hayward. Chris Hayward, what are you looking for, my friend? We had a real cool conversation this week. We had our one-on-one coaching this week.
We did, yeah. So coming out of the one-on-one session I had with Walter, I've decided to shift my focus away from Waltham, where I live, and towards Lowell, because with the money I have, I want to be able to spread it out over a number of different properties instead of taking that and throwing it at a single property here in Waltham. So I am looking for any multi-family deals, off-market deals up in the Lowell area.
What's interesting about that strategy is usually I tell people, hey, invest in your city, invest in your city. What Chris has actually done is he's actually worked in Lowell before, and he knows Lowell very well. And the barrier to entry is not a problem for him. And I asked him a question was, could you ever, if you had to, which city would you move to? Would you move to Lowell during a hard time, or would you stay in Waltham? If you can no longer afford the Waltham rents, what would you do? And so I go to Lowell, right? It was obvious, right? And I asked him if you had to, well, actually, if it was actually your nephews that we were talking about, it wasn't you.
Right, yeah.
If your nephews needed a place to live, and it was, it was between Worcester, Fall River, and Lowell, which one would you send him to? And he said Lowell all day. And Lowell was 30 minutes away from where he was. He was comfortable with it, familiar with it, lower barrier to entry, just a better investment for him overall. And he wouldn't mind living there himself. If he had to, he'd go back there and he could live there. And so that was the option that allows him to expand faster. There's more opportunity out there. They're spread out a little more. So he has just a better opportunity to invest, and the barrier to entry was way lower. So great job, Chris. You're now going to be the king of Lowell, just like Ryan is the king of Dedham, and Anthony is the king of Jamaica Plain. Doreen is the queen of Worcester. Mitch, the king of the entire state of Cleveland, the entire city of Cleveland, Ohio. We got Mike Shine. You got East Greenwich and North. Which one is it? Just say it for me.
I'm the king.
The Kingston. Oh, okay. North Kingston. Very good. Ryan is Pawtucket. Emily, what are you looking for?
And I want to be the queen of Boston.
She wants to be the queen of Brockton.
Boston.
That's what it is.
So I'm looking to raise capital.
Raise capital.
I want to do my first deal. I don't know if I should do a flip before so I can get money.
Very good.
I'm open to suggestions.
Open to suggestions. So Monday, you're going to be in the call with us on Monday, and we're going to have some really good conversations around your goals, what we're doing. The other mentorship program members already know how Mondays go. They go quick, it's aggressive, and you leave with a lot of work. You leave with, okay, laser focus, one thing. We 80-20 the entire time. What is the one thing? We're 80-20 you.
I've already spoken to Dorina, so I've joined her wholesale team.
Very good. And from our conversation, the wholesale team is exactly where you belong. It makes a lot of sense for you. Very good. That said, the mentorship program is open. It is available. I will continue to figure out ways to fit more people in it. As it grows and scales, we'll just work out a little differently the way we're operating. I'll probably do breakout sessions with the coaches during the one-on-ones. Instead of me going one-on-one with everybody, we'll do a little lesson, then breakout session with the coaches. It's scalable. Bring on the problem. The more we go with this, the more I realize we can serve more people. And it's our moral, ethical duty to go out and serve more people. It's almost a challenge. How many people can you bring through? How many people can you help? Do me a favor. Bring more people into the Saturdays. Bring more people into the 14, the 15, the 16 wealth principles, the 52 weeks of wealth. Bring them in and teach them each principle. Even if they stay for one principle, they've learned something valuable. I promise every one of the 52 is a game changer. Every one of these is as powerful as the 80-20. Every one of these is as powerful as creating contagious culture, as thinking a million, as defining your business, making sure it makes a million. And some of the ones that are coming up in the future, how to build a business around gratitude, how to build a business and understand core faith to a business. There's so many elements that we're going to bring in the rest of the 52 weeks. So I appreciate everyone who is bringing people to the Saturday. If you're somebody who wants to be successful and you want to get to the next level, you want to join the mentorship program, shoot me a text at 774-526-4796 or send me an email, my first and last name at gmail.com, gualtermorello@gmail.com, or you can go to gualtermorello.com/mentor and you can just sign up. Your success is up to you. It's not my choice. If it was up to me, all 8 billion people on this planet would be rich. But you give me the opportunity, I'll show you the way. I can't force you to drink, but I could lead you to the water. And once I meet you and we do our one-on-one, I can't help but want to see you do well. I'm finding ways, how can I make money with this person? How can I build this person up so we can work together? Every single person in my mentorship program is a tool. There's somebody that I can build and push a little further so that I can have a little more as well. So we can reach out to a few more people's lives. And what's cool about it is every single one of them is okay with that. We're finally bringing in the right people in our lives. Every single one of you is bringing the right people into your life right where they belong so we can all add value. Givers give, givers gain, givers get, and givers make the world a better place. That said, ladies and gentlemen, I will see each and every one of the mentor members Monday night at 8. If you're in the wholesale group, it's Monday night at 5, so we'll work it overtime. And then if you're going to be here next week, actually, wholesale again is Friday at 5 as well. Monday and Friday, 5 o'clock. The wholesale team is cranking out numbers. I will be on both calls for at least 15 minutes. And then on Saturday at 10 a.m. is Wealth Principle number 15. And I'll spoil that later on. I'm not giving it to you guys yet. When you have a choice, I always work with the best. Love you guys. I'll see you soon.
Walter, I have a quick question.
Oh, shit, Anthony, whoa! Look at that. Go ahead, brother. What do you got? Go ahead.
The guy that you said he has like 600 small single-family homes. What was his name?
Dan Zitowski, yep.
Dan Zitowski.
Dan
Zitowski.
That was a good podcast. I resonate with that guy doing the smaller multifamily myself. P.S. Wholesalers, Gardner, Massachusetts. I'm your guy. 2-3 families all day. Bring them to me.
I love it. Good job.
Wait, we're doing that. North Kingstown, East Greenwich, and Newport. If you got any deals, I will buy them. Wholesalers, go get it.
Go get it. What else? Who else we got?
Pawtucket.
Pawtucket. Yeah, Ryan.
Massachusetts. It's my
right.
birthday today. You gotta hook me up.
Happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Ryan. We know what he wants for his birthday. Just give me a deal.
That's president of all.
I thought he
I'm
wanted
hoping.
to sing happy birthday to him.
I'm hoping that'll happen. I'm hoping we'll get some deals going out of this very soon.
Yeah.
All right, my friends. Thank you very much for coming on early. Mitch Durfee will be the guest next this Monday night. So, Mitch, are you able to jump on with us at 8 o'clock?
Yeah, I'm there.
All right, so
Sure.
You'll get to know a little bit more about Mitch. He's going to talk for about 10, 15 minutes, and then he's going to give you some information so you can text him, so you can schedule out your one-on-one coaching sessions. The next week, we're going to present another coach so he can do the same, and then we'll continue to do that week after week. We'll be unrolling one coach after another coach after another coach. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. It's a lot of value. When we set up the program, we said, how can we deliver value? And then as we've continued, we said, how can we do a little more? How can we just squeeze a little more juice out of this? How can we give them just a little bit more so that we guarantee after this 8 weeks, their lives have changed? Because there's nothing more exciting than building millionaires. I've never done anything more exciting in my life. Turning my business partner into a millionaire was one of the coolest things I ever did. Turning my brother into a millionaire is like, I'm so freaking close. Stephanie, Darina, multimillionaire Mike, and then everybody in this room. You guys are the next project.
Millionaire Mike.
That's it. Multimillionaire Ryan, right? It's the next level. Multimillionaire Mitch, Doug, like Chris, Anthony, Emily. Terry, Brian, Dorina, Ryan. That's.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
I'm telling you.
Everybody on the Zoom became a millionaire. That would just be the bomb.
That's the point. That's why we're doing it.
That's what we're doing.
Everybody on the Zoom. Alan, Angela, David, Liz, John, Louisa, Mario, RH, Stacy, Saeed. I appreciate you, every one of you. Thank you for staying on with us. Anthony, thank you for that last question. That was solid. Anybody has a question, shoot me a text. I got you guys. When you have a choice, always work with the best.
Always work with the best.
All right.
Always.